finally, it is time for another pickup video. Got a lot of stuff here, as I normally do, and actually I've got a ton more stuff that still needs to be filmed. I know it's been like 2 months, something like that, since I've made another video, but I've been having pretty consistent pickups in between then, from flea markets and trades, and pawn stores, thrift stores. I got some great thrift store stuff to show. But first things here, I'm going to have some garage sale stuff. I've got the Super Pawn Super Sale from way back in December, the beginning of December, and I've got some other just pawn store stuff. So let's get started here. We'll start with the flea market stuff. Pretty much every Sunday I go out with a buddy, and it's pretty much like I said every weekend. So, but I did go by myself on a Friday. There was one vendor that keeps telling us that he sells all of his games on Friday. And so I finally went on a Friday. It was this horribly rainy day, and I went anyway. And the only thing I had found was Mario Kart Wii. It was $8, and it is not complete. It's missing the manual. The disc was in decent condition, so for $8, Mario Kart Wii. Next, these are all from going out, I believe, with Aaron. He's my flea market buddy. I don't know why I picked this up, and I don't remember how much it was, but Final Fantasy X2. I may not even pick this up at the flea market, because normally I don't spend more than $1 on this game, especially when it didn't have the manual. So this one might have been a mistake that I either bought or that I just got into this pile on accident. Anyway, I believe these were $5 each, and this was a really cool booth. This guy had a ton of PlayStation 2 stuff and some Xbox stuff, and he'd even said that he had like a top load or NES a week or two ago that we obviously missed out on. But anyway, so I picked up two RPGs that I didn't have. Well, we'll say 1.5 RPGs. The first one is Legaia 2 Dual Saga. I believe this is an RPG. Maybe I'm wrong, but I thought it was. Anyway, it's in a goofy yellow case for some reason. But anyway, Legaia 2. I think Legaia 1 is on the PlayStation 1. As I'm looking at this, I'm doubting myself. But anyway, so the second game is RPG Maker 2. I have RPG Maker on the PlayStation 1. I have actually never seen a physical copy of this or of RPG Maker 3. Chances are I will never ever play this because years ago when I, like 10 to maybe even longer, 12 years ago, when I picked up RPG Maker for the PlayStation 1, I had high hopes. I turned it on like probably a lot of people did, and they were like, oh my god, this is so involved that I'll never do this. So anyway, it's just cool to find it again. I may just check it out just to kind of see how it was, because the first one was super complicated. But RPG Maker 2, it's just cool to find. Next, this was $5, and normally this was if you watched my $20 challenge with Getting Your Nerd On, this is the same booth that I got all those PlayStation 2 games from, but I picked up Rune Factory Frontier for the Wii. It's just no manual, but the disc was decent. He had a lot of games that are just awful to look at, and I actually changed the case so that it at least looked halfway decent. But anyway, Rune Factory Frontier. I have not actually put too much time into this one or Tides of Destiny, I think. They're pretty fun though. The one's Natsume. I thought this one was too, but they're, like I said, it's kind of like a cross between Harvest Moon and RPGs. And so I'd like to give them a better chance, but I haven't really put a lot of time into them. And then these were like as we were leaving, it was just a random booth that had a bunch of crap, and then 2 Xbox games. They were $4 each, and they're complete, and that is Knights of the Old Republic and Knights of the Old Republic 2. So I thought $4 was a pretty good price for these games. I've played the first one and beat it back when I lived with someone who had an Xbox, but I have not played the second one yet, and probably won't, since I don't think I'll ever, intentionally get an Xbox. But anyway, I assume they're both great games. The first one is a great game, so that's the flea market stuff. Next, we'll do the Super Pawn Super Sale, which really wasn't that super for me, but I found some Wii stuff here. The first one is GoldenEye 007. This was $2. The only reason I actually picked this up is because my copy actually didn't work. It wouldn't read. And so I just ended up, I think I actually gave that to GameStop. So anyways, I got a replacement game, and I haven't even tried this one. I assume it works, but I haven't played it yet. But I do want to try it because I loved GoldenEye on the Nintendo 64, and so I'm curious to check it out. Next is these are all from the same store, and honestly this is all that I found. I went to like I don't know 10, 11 stores that day, and this is all I could find. So I got 5 Wii games, and this was a super sale here. These were 50 cents each. The first one is, I believe these are all complete too. The first one is Dream Pinball. I know GCAU is probably thinking about that. Metroid Other M. 2 goofy games here that I've actually played a little bit of. Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? Back to School. This one's fun. And then Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? Meet the Grade. Yeah, Make the Grade, sorry. Anyway, they're kind of fun. There's goofy trivia games. Star Wars The Force Unleashed. So like I said, those were 50 cents each. I figured those were no-brainers. And then lastly, I picked this up because I was just curious. It was this game was sitting there next to a couple of Maddens, and I was like, well, what are you doing, today for your super sale? And he's like, $4. So I picked up Destiny for the Xbox One for $4. I obviously do not have an Xbox One, but $4 I felt like was probably a fair enough deal. And chances are this will just get traded into GameStop, in hopes for something. But that was my Super Pond super sale. It was hugely disappointing. I did see a Mario Kart 64, but they wanted $35 for it, and they wouldn't go down on their super sale. And I saw an in-the-box Castlevania 2, but they wanted $50 for that. And again, I was like, your super sale, like $50, really? But they didn't want to go down, so, c'est la vie. Lastly is just another pickups from a pawn store, and I paid $18 for this lot, which I thought was great. I'll show them all here. The first one is disc only. It is Resident Evil for the GameCube. Oh, this is GameCube. Resident Evil discs 1 and 2. Unfortunately, it's disc only. And unfortunately, they've used a paint pen to write on it. And I haven't checked it to make sure the game works, but it's just kind of frustrating just that they wrote on the disc themselves instead of the case or something. They had them in little paper sleeves. They could have just written on those. But anyway, so Resident Evil disc 1 and 2. I picked up The Simpsons Hit and Run for the GameCube, Mario Kart Double Dash, and then they actually had a Super Mario World, which I also picked up in this lot, but I have misplaced that, so it's probably in another bag or who knows. Anyways, but I picked up Super Mario World on that, but also I picked up Fire Emblem Path of Radiance there. Now, this was only disc only, and I traded the case with my buddy Aaron. He just had an empty case, and so I traded, I think, Brain Lord to him for the case. So now I have it, at least in a case, and I have a copy. So it's cool to find another one though. Yeah, originally they wanted, I think they wanted 10 for Mario Kart Double Dash, 5 for The Simpsons Hit and Run, 5 for Super Mario World, and then they wanted $1 each on Fire Emblem and the Resident Evil. And I asked if he would do 20 for everything. He said yes. And he was just a cool guy, and he knocked it down even to 18. So it's a dude that I have somewhat of a rapport with. He had saw me in the store, probably a year ago, maybe a little longer, and asked me, if I come across any Dragon Ball Z games for the PlayStation 2. And I finally found, I think, Budokai 3, and I just gave it to him. And so he's just been a real cool dude, and so he hooked me up this day. So really awesome to find Fire Emblem again. But Resident Evil, Simpsons Hit and Run, Mario Kart Double Dash, and Super Mario World for $18, I thought was a pretty good price. I thought it was an amazing price. So that is my pickups. Sorry it's been so long. I'm out of excuses. I just really haven't made time for it. But I do have a lot more stuff to show. And, hopefully you'll check out also PvP, my game challenge with Getting Your Nerd On. So thanks again.